A viewer mailed in this whole stack of phones as partial payment for a repair, so I'm going to see if I can get away with getting any of these to work. I know very little about all of them. Essentially, they were just lying around and you wanted to get rid of them. And to me, this is a mystery box, so we're going to see how many of these I can get to work. So first, I am starting off with compiling IMEIs of the devices that turn on. I am then running each of the IMEIs to tell me various information, carrier status. I'm mainly interested in if find my iPhone is on or off. And this is the list that I get. 3 of them are off, 3 of them are on. And wait till later on in the video, and I may get one of these to work, possibly 2, who knows. So, I have checked a total of 6 phones. 2 of them are Find My iPhone off. I guess from the looks of it, this one just needs a screen replacement. This one, don't know, something wrong, won't activate. So, I'm going to try and DFU the device. What else? And then all of these are iCloud locked. This one at least has a functioning screen, so I'd say just even as a parts phone, this is worth a little bit of money. So it turns out the iCloud is off of this one, but 2 bad pieces of information. As you can see, we're missing a home button, and then it's also Sprint, which is not ideal. So I'll probably put an aftermarket home button on this one, and honestly, I'll probably just give it away. So I'm going to do 2 screen replacements on these. Now that I know that they are good candidates, I have 2 perfectly good donor devices that I'm going to pull some parts from. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to sell them. So I don't know if it was me or if it was already this way, but the home button return to home does not work. So I'm going to see if I can transplant that chip onto another home button, and ideally, I'll have a working home button at the end of this. Let's find out. So we're going to reball this chip, and then we're going to heat it up, get some nice little solder balls, flow it on there, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I was unsuccessful. Not sure if it was the way that I did it. I've never tried a home button flex replacement before, but yeah. And my oh my, was this 7 interesting. I started with a screen replacement, accidentally severed the home button flex on the donor screen that I was going to use, so then I had to actually pay for another screen. After all of that, I then went to test the loudspeaker, which for whatever reason on voice memos wasn't working, so I decided, screw it, I'm going to do an audio IC repair, which is this. The 7s are sort of plagued with this, which requires removing and reballing the chip. As we can see here, I'm just cleaning up the pads. We are then going to clean that off and using a little bit of isopropyl alcohol here. This is my reballing stencil, and then this actually takes a little bit more time. I'm obviously cutting these down, but I gotta love the way those little solder balls flow into place. And next up is running a jumper. This is the actual audio IC problem. So I need to run a jumper from one filter to the pad, which you can see right here. I am just adding a little solder so that it's easier to connect my jumper to, which is that tiny little wire. I then need to connect it to the pad, which we're doing right about here. Then you have to trim off the excess and then use that next little portion for the next jumper that we need to run, which oddly enough is just from one pad to another pad. And if anyone wonders, this stuff that I keep putting on there is flux. It essentially helps solder flow. It also helps the pad from oxidizing, which is generally not a good thing. So here we are connecting it to its other point, and then I will then trim off that little excess bit. And then the next part is putting some UV mask, which is this little green stuff right here. You then use a UV lamp, but its job is to basically keep the jumper from moving, because once I put a chip on, if these aren't basically solidified in place, they could move all over the place, and we don't want that. And here we're just getting the chip into place, giving it a little love tap, and we're done. Now we just got to clean it up with some isopropyl alcohol, get all the excess flux off, and this was the one successful phone I was able to pull off. So I normally would not spend this much time trying to fix an iPhone 7 or a 7 Plus, but whatever. For the sake of content, I have one fixed phone out of the original 6 from this video. The good news is that at least out of the 7 Pluses, I have, I guess, 3 7 Pluses. I can sell the cameras for this number. I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm going to go and try to sell this one. It is AT&T locked. I'm going to see if they can unlock it. Hopefully they can, and I can get, I don't know, maybe 75 bucks out of it. And then I still have this iPhone 8 that I need to try to do an iCloud unlock for to see if my software will work. But yeah, I'm going to make a separate video out of this. Yeah, more interestingly, I have all of these phones that either don't want to charge or have a board that looks like that. So yeah, this is going to be part 2.